Good morning, friends, and welcome to another fun episode of That's What She Said. We are at the Virginia Theater in downtown Champaign. I am Jeanette Jerzek. Let's just check in this morning. How you doing, Carrie Rosso?
I'm doing okay. I feel so shy when you put me on the spot like that. Hello, I'm Carrie Rosso.
Carol, you're looking beautiful and green today.
Thank you. I'm Carol Wackerlin.
And we're so excited to have our awesome Crystal Odoms in the house.
Hello, Crystal Odoms here.
But today's episode is really special. It is presented by Busey Bank, so we do thank them for supporting us today. And our guest today is Christina Cortez of the American Heart Association, the Greater Champaign area. She is the director of something.
Corporate events.
Thank you very much. The director of corporate events. And so we want to thank Busey because they recommended that you join us today. We love to share stories. We love to talk about issues that are important to women. And you love to talk about heart disease. So
near to our heart. Near to talk about heart disease.
Matters of the heart.
Matters of the heart.
Yes. So welcome, and tell
you.
us a little bit about yourself and what drives you to support women's health.
Well, I work for the American Heart Association, as you had just said. I have been working for them for a little over 2 years. I myself am a mother of 2, and when I took this position, I learned a lot about heart disease and stroke and the importance of women taking care of their hearts. Statistically, 1 in 3 will pass of heart disease. And so myself, a mother of 2 daughters, statistically, one of us will pass from this disease if we don't do something about it. Whoa. So it really, really is important to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves.
No, you say do something about it.
Do something about it.
Broad
exactly.
Topic.
The American Heart Association implemented what we call Life Simple 7. And there's 7 steps that you can do to have a healthier heart and lower your risk of heart disease. Number 1 is to get active. Make sure that we're out there getting active 30 minutes a day, 5 to 7 times a week, just making sure that we're doing those things. Making sure that we know our numbers. You're reducing your cholesterol. You're managing your blood sugar and your blood pressure as well. Make sure you're monitoring those things. Make sure that you're eating better. And also really important is if you do smoke, quit smoking. Mm-hmm. Do whatever you can to stop smoking, because if you can do that, you're drastically going to reduce your risk of heart disease. And really, though, if you can take those steps, at least a couple of them, and embrace them, you will drastically reduce your risk of heart disease and stroke. So, and also it's really important to make sure that you're getting your Well Women visit, is what we call it. Once a year, we all have our annuals, but making sure that we're talking to our doctor about our heart and about our cholesterol and about our blood pressure, making sure we're knowing and we're educating ourselves on those things. So it's super important that we get our Well Woman visit once a year and checking in with our doctor to make sure we're taking care of ourselves, because I really feel as women, and statistically, we don't take care of ourselves as much. We take care of everyone else in our lives and we leave ourselves to the last. So we got to make sure that we're doing what we can to take care of ourselves so that we can take care of our family and our friends.
And how about stress?
Oh, yes, of course. But managing stress, making sure that you can take a couple moments a day, organize your life as much as possible, and just really try to de-stress yourself. Take a moment, sit in a room, have a cup of coffee in the morning. I find myself that if you don't talk to me until I have my first cup of coffee in the morning, my
stressful
girls
for everybody else.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Stressed out.
Exactly. The first thing I do, I get up, I go to the bathroom, I turn on my coffee pot, and then after I have my first couple sips, then you can come in.
Well, you're in the right place.
Absolutely.
Cheers. Awesome.
Thank you, Columbia Street Roastery.
So, Crystal, what do you do to reduce stress in your life?
I spend time with friends. I drink wine.
I hear that red wine is actually really
good circulation. Yes, it is.
Thank you.
One glass, not a whole bottle, but in moderation. Everything in moderation.
I drink wine. Whisper it now. I find laughter and time with family and friends really helps me to relax and put things into perspective.
Absolutely. Carol, how about you?
Those would all be on my list. Dark chocolate would be on my list.
Also good for heart health, I hear.
And kind of getting rid of some of the baggage in my life, I would say, is one of the ways that I kind of keep my stress level low and let the important stuff be important and let everything else go. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
Beautiful.
For sure. Well,
how about you, Carrie?
Well, I feel like I do it all. I do the wine, I do the chocolate. I think for me, when I was thinking about that, I thought in the mornings, because we have 4 kiddos, and once everyone is up and going, it's a free-for-all after that. But my husband and I read the paper together in the morning, and while the news can be super stressful, but it is like that one time every morning that I'm with my fella, and we're reading the paper together, and it's calm. There's usually no noise. It's a nice way for me to start the day. So maybe it goes back to that routine and what you're doing. And I am sucking down coffee during that time too. So,
well, my day starts with a 2 and a 3-year-old on top of me, so it's the de-stressors are not in the morning. But after I get the girls in bed at night, this sounds crazy, but I love to put on something on Netflix and do the dishes or fold laundry. I mean, it sounds crazy, but it's my unwind time. Yep. And maybe there's a glass of wine, maybe there's some chocolate, but I think we're all on the same page here that that taking care of ourselves is important in the crazy ride of life. But it sounds like women don't always pay attention to the signs of heart health. So talk about that a little bit.
Well, as women, as I was saying, that we usually take care of everybody else before ourselves. And in 2004, the American Heart Association really saw a need for women to become more educated about heart disease. It's the #1 killer in women. It kills nearly 500,000 women a year. Wow. 500,000.
That's a lot.
So that's
a big number.
It's a huge number. And you can combine all other forms of cancer combined does not beat heart disease.
I did not know
all
that.
other forms of cancer is combined and does not beat the incidence of heart disease.
That's a Jeopardy question I would have gotten wrong.
Yeah. So we got to talk about it. And we used to think that this was an old man's disease. And even research was done on men. It wasn't done on women. It wasn't gender specific. So in 2004, we created the Go Red for Women movement. And it is an awesome opportunity for women to come together at a luncheon that we have Busey as one of our major sponsors that we partner with, and you come and you learn about heart health and what you can do to de-stress your life and have less occurrence that you might get heart disease. So taking those steps, we all come together as women. We have a keynote speaker. We have a lady who has been impacted by the mission, maybe had a heart attack, born with a congenital heart defect, who comes and shares her story and motivates women to take on those Life Simple 7. And start to make a change in their life.
And where can women watching right now learn about that event?
They can learn about it at champagnegoredforwomen.org, and it will be February 10th, and it's over at the Hilton Garden Inn. It's always the Friday before Valentine's Day. It really is a great event. We have silent auction items where women can come, and we try to go men heavy because you can buy your Valentine's Day gift there as well. Perfect. So you're for a great cause, and it really is a good time. And then you have the Health Expo, so we have local vendors there who have booths, and you can learn about various things with your health. And then we have breakout sessions as well.
And where do you get tickets for that?
Well, you can go to champagnegoredforwomen.org, and you can buy a ticket online, or you can contact myself. My information's on that website as well.
So it might be a fun girls'
It is.
afternoon.
Some women, the women at Christie Clinic are our presenting sponsor. They dress up in their boas. They have red. They just come all glammed out. It is it's fun time. It really,
I've glommed
really
on to go with the Christie group, and they are fun.
Yes,
so start
they are
with that.
great.
But it's exactly that. I think what you were saying is women. I'll get to it, and we put it off. But if you can sort of frame it in a girl's time out, and then they're having a good time, they're relaxed, and then I think we're more able to hear that information. And because in the past it was another one of those things we didn't talk about because we were busy in the sprint.
Right. Well, let's show an example of what could happen if you put yourself last and don't pay attention to the signs of heart disease. So here is the PSA created by the Heart Association, targeted for women, and it's called Just a Little Heart Attack.
It started out like a totally normal day. Okay, move objection deadline to the third line after survey. Oh, honey, for when you always use the verb start. What are you doing down there? Did you finish your breakfast? Ow. Whew. Don't hit your brother. I mean, you have to eat something. Here. Okay, 5 minutes to carpool. Where's my coffee?
You okay, Mom?
Oh, I'm fine. Sandwich orders. What do you want?
Almond butter and jelly.
Spaghetti.
You sure you're okay?
I'm fine, sweetie.
I am so late. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Hey, honey. You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You sure?
Oh, yeah. Here.
Acai, my favorite. See you guys later.
Wear your shoes. Put your shoes back on, please. You know, go help your sister. We're going in 3 minutes. Oh my God, what am I doing? I forgot to cut off the crust. Voila. Shoes on, potty if you need it. Honey, get your sister. Okay, get her. Nobody move. I'm getting a dustpan.
Mom! I think you're having a heart attack.
Honey, do I look like the type of person who has a heart attack? I'm just gonna sit down. I'm totally fine. Don't forget to wear the high socks with the shin guards.
Forget about the shin guards, Mom.
Come on, Mrs. Underdog is not gonna wait. Whoa. Okay. 9, 1, 1. Hi, sorry to bother you. I think I might be having a little heart attack. Nothing really, just some nausea, tightening of the jaw, dizziness, shortness of breath, muscle pain, achiness, this terrible pressure in my chest. Oh, really? They can be here in how long? 2 minutes. Can you make it 10? I thought I had gas. Turns out I was having a heart attack. Heart disease is the #1 killer of American women. So now I take care of my heart and I tell the women in my life to do the same.
Sounds great, by the way.
That's nice, sweetie, but that's not my heart. That is. Make it your mission to save your life and the lives of the women you love. Find out more from the American Heart Association at goredforwomen.org.
Wow. So I think that pretty much sums up how women feel about paying attention to heart disease.
Absolutely.
Christina, do you have a personal story involving heart disease that you can share?
Not necessarily heart disease itself. 80% of heart disease can be prevented, but that 20% is your congenital defects that you have. And my grandmother actually had a leaky valve. The woman lived to be 92, but for the last 15 years of her life, she was diagnosed with this leaky valve issue. And so we had to watch her salt intake and make sure we're monitoring everything. But she herself had a congenital heart defect from birth that she knew nothing about. And then she found this later in life. The doctors found this later in life. So that was part of my motivation. But also, as I had said before, talking about my daughters, when I took this job and I learned that 1 in 3 women die of this disease, and I have a 2-year-old and a 9-year-old daughter. And I myself, a year ago, was 40 pounds heavier. And I took this job and I got myself active and I started monitoring these things because the statistics are there. 1 in 3 women die of this disease if we don't do something about it. So it really is just making sure that we're putting our best self forward in the world and being a good role model for our children. But
it's impressive that you actually, you learned enough where, I mean, to be a good role model for the people you talk to, you just about had to do what those 7 things
Talk
said.
the talk, walk the walk.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Good for you.
When you put it in the numbers and make people think of, instead of just thinking of the numbers, thinking of the people in your life, thinking of the women at this table. There are 5 girls in my family. I have 2 daughters. And when I think of it and put a face to it and think one of us or one of my girls or, it really hits home and sort of shakes you up and thinks, okay.
And it's easy to say, well, that would never happen to me, but it could.
Well, and my mom had a heart attack when she was younger than I am now.
Oh, wow.
So I'm kind of the opposite of the video clip. Like every little thing, I'm like, oh, this is it. Here it is. This is the big one.
I myself become more paranoid, and I think the same things. I'm like, I really think it's stress, but I mean, why is my heart palpitating and going crazy? Because I'm similar. Now that you work for it and you're educated around it, you do become more sensitive to it, which is good, I think.
I ended up in the ER a year ago with chest pains, and thank goodness it was not cardiac related, but you can't be too sure. So
No, you can never be too sure. And I always say, when I was talking about the well women visit, do it around your birthday. once a year, celebrate yourself, go out, go meet with your doctor, have them check all your, your vitals and your cholesterol and your blood sugar and whatnot, and take those steps every year to make sure you're taking care of yourself.
But that's an interesting connection to make, that you're celebrating yourself by having a checkup. And
Yeah, how many of us dread
I dread it.
Right,
Right,
we do, but we gotta do the prevention part.
Yeah.
Because if we want to live a long, healthy life, then and be on this earth for our children and our family and our friends, then we need to make sure we're taking care of ourselves.
Well, I think that says it, really.
Yep.
Any questions?
What she said.
what she said.
Yeah, Christina,
Everything
thank
she
you
said.
so
Thank
much
you,
for being
ladies.
here.
Thank
We
you.
really are paying attention to what you said today.
Thank
So
you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you to Busey Bank for sponsoring today's episode, which is in the Virginia Theater, which is where our live show will be October 15th. So excited to see you there. And thank you to Texture Home for making it look so snazzy. And thank you to Columbia Street Roastery.
She said is really excited to be able to present an episode on such an important topic for women. So we're really glad you could join us today. Gary, that's not my heart. Sorry.